Okay guys, in this video we will put all the materials for properly shading this scene. So we can begin from the floor and walls to texture the maximum area of this frame. And so let's start to create a new V-Ray bridge, advanced material, name it wall or anything you want. I will apply to this my plaster texture, so this and this color in the diffuse. Maybe we can activate my bump, put a normal map in tangent space, and add to it my plaster normal map. Okay, we can activate. We can try with 5. It's too much. Maybe it's 3. We can fix it later. This value of this bump on normal, this normal map amount in later when we try to test it in render. So we can activate now the color variation to see better result in it. Now I activate my specular layer and I apply to it my plaster reflection color. Okay, it's too heavy. Maybe we can try to mix it with 50%. Okay, and I will reduce my Fresnel to 1.3 and my reflection glossiness to about 0.7 maybe. So let's try this value for my walls. Okay, now we create a new V-Ray bridge advanced material, make it wall 02. Rename properly this wall underscore 01. This one can be 90% with a speckle of 1.3, glossiness of about 0.75 maybe. We can try to apply this to this piece here. Now it's time to set up my projection on the wall to cubic, and I want to see better my texture in my viewport, so increase the map preview size to 2K. I think it's good. Maybe we can try to position it in a place that I want. So for me it's good this to reduce the power, the weight in RAM of this texture. I return to my map preview size of 256 by 256, and after doing this we concentrate on a new V-Ray advanced material for create my floor. So I want to apply to it, I want to create a floor material that's simulate concrete. So I have this concrete here for the diffuse. I want to activate my bump, set it up in normal map in tangent space, and apply to it my concrete normal map. I think for this one is good. Maybe we can fix it later. Activate my specular layer as usual, 1.3 in Fresnel, and put a concrete reflection here. Mix it to 0.5. I think it's good. and I think this is 0.5 is better, okay, because I want a shyness effect on my floor. And I activate also in my reflection glossiness a reflection glossiness 0.95, maybe we can fix it later as usual. Okay, I think it's good. Maybe I think this texture is a lot green for me, so I want to apply a filter and reduce a bit the saturation of my concrete. Maybe -10 is good. Maybe we can try. Okay, apply it to my floor, make it better resolution to see what happened here. I think it's good. Yes, I think my map is good. Maybe we can fix it because there is a little bit of distortion with a projection display of cubicle, and I think this resolution is good. So return to my camera and make map preview size on the default settings. Okay, so let's see what happened now. Okay, I think we have a little problems with my walls. I think it's a good idea to reduce a bit this grunge effect on it. So to do this I want to increase the size of my texture mapping here a bit. So I return here, set it up to 2K to see better, and I think maybe we can try to increase it by 0.5, 0.5. I think it's better. Return to 0 with this value to see better the position, basic position of these walls. I think we can try something like this is better, yeah. And return this to my map preview size of default. Go to my diffuse layer and I wanna decrease a bit the power of this texture on this wall. So I wanna to set up to 0.5 maybe. Okay, good. And maybe we can try this value for now. Okay, now I wanna add a texture for my carpet. So I wanna create a new Vray bridge. Vray bridge, advanced material, carpet, and I have this texture for it. So put it here, activate my specular. From this I don't want a very shiny effect, so I want to reduce my Fresnel IOR, and I want to deactivate trace reflection to have only specular on it. Maybe we can try with 0.6. Okay, and apply it to my carpet. For every on the polygon, the plane with my Vray Fure, and also with at the basic the base that I have created in the previous tutorial to create a base of this carpet. Because if you don't do this, the problem is if you can see the floor, the concrete of the floor pass through the carpet. Okay, now I wanna create a new material for these windows, and maybe we can tweaks a bit this one, so I wanna use this and name it walls windows, because I want to create a similarity from this material. So I want to do it my where is it? Why this white wood grain texture on the diffuse, sorry, on my diffuse layer. Okay, let's increase the realism a bit. So close it, fix the texture for now. So I'm gonna here make it cubic, increase the map preview size to 2K maybe to see better results. I think it's more too big, so 2 by 2. Set it to default. I think it's better now. Maybe we can try to add this material to windows also. Okay, this is good. Second is good. Yeah, as you can see, I have an instance, so when I apply a material to this geometry, it's applied automatically to this geometry too. So it's very useful, these tricks. Maybe I'll create basic shader for this. I think it's maybe too perfect, so I want to undo these things and create a copy of this material and make it a bit darker. 0.9, 0.8. I think it's good, yeah. And apply it to create a bit of variation to my windows here. Okay, I think I have to create a quick chrome material for these two parts here. So create a new shader, advanced material, name it metal, I think, metal shiny 01, 10%, 30, 95, 0.95. There we go. We have our basic metal shiny effect. So apply to these parts this material. I think everything is set it up properly. I think I have to create. We can try this one. What is this? Oh, sorry, I have to. Maybe we can try to texture it also, but it's not important. Okay, now we can create a shader for this plant here. So create a bridge, advanced material, name it leaf. I have already the texture for this leaf. Put it here. Activate my bump in normal map, it's tangent space. Put my leaf normal map here. 19 for this is good. Okay. And I think I have to apply it to my plant leaf here. There we go. Works very well for me. Now create a new that's material for my bark. So bark, diffuse. Where is here? Yeah, arc. And I don't have normal map for this material, but it doesn't matter. I think this works good. With copy it, paste it here, apply to it a filter to create a normal map, a bump map, a quick bump map, enable clipping to increase a bit the contrast. I think very quickly increase a bit the lightness because I don't want a very high effect of this bump. I think it's good. Maybe you can try to see. Yeah, I think it's work very good for our resolution. Apply it to this, and I think it's time to see what happens. So I want to increase a bit our map preview size to see better results. I think it's not very good. Maybe we can try to fix it to create a cubic mapping by increasing a very high session to it. Make it seamless to see what happens. I think it's not good as well, but for our resolution is, I think, is acceptable. So return out of my camera, disable this one, and I think it's time to create the texture for the vase here. Heavy, so I want to create a new shader, or create a ceramic pot. Apply to it, create a copy, name it ground. Okay. I want to apply to this selection, open up this material. I have this ground texture for it, so simply apply it to my material. Okay, I think we must have a little bit of variation in my normal map. Sorry. Now I want to apply to it this specularity also, so take it, paste here, reduce the amount to 0.3, disable my glossiness reflection because I think it's good using only specularity to increase the render time for this little material here. So I wanted to select this other, make it a new material, ceramic pot 01, decrease the 25%, apply this to it, and this one I want to increase a little bit the diffuse brightness. Maybe we can activate this specularity 0.9 and do the same with the other 1.3, 0.9, and I think I will reduce it to 75%. Okay, I think it's good. I think everything's worked well, so I want to create the basic shader for the principal actor in this scene, so this Dutch bone chair. So I want to create a shader, Vray bridge, advanced material, name it Dutch bone _01. To my texture folder, I have some texture for this chair. So I think it's time to, maybe we can try with this one or this one. Maybe this one is good for the basic diffuse, so I want to apply it here, create a layer, open it up, add a Fresnel shader. You can try to put it on and reduce the strength on it by multiply. I think screen maybe works well for me to be 20%. I think it's good, maybe 25. Okay. So I want to activate my bump to create a little bit of variation. 0.1 filter, reduce all the saturation, and increase a little bit the clipping of the eye value to have a little bit of contrast in my texture. I think it's good. It's time to apply this to my bone chair. I think it's a good start. I want to create a new shader with advanced material, make it label. In this diffuse layer I want to apply my Dutch bone logo here, for example. Activate a little bit of specularity on it, and I want to create a little bit of variation, so I copy this map, paste it here, create a new filter, reduce the saturation and increase the contrast. Yeah, so now the reflection is set it up only on the logo parts. The black parts are not concerned by refraction, so I want to reduce a bit the mix strength to create a very nice mix on it, and reduce also to 0.9 the reflection glossiness. Select this label material and apply it to my label here. Okay. Okay, now it's time to create the shader for this basement of the chair. So create a new Vray bridge advanced material. We will simulate an iron material. So I want to set it up my diffuse to 10%, specular layer about 7, and maybe a brightness of 80%, reflection glossiness 0.6. I think it's good. Reduce a bit to 5. Okay, my basic material is good, so now I'm going to go to my texture folder, and we can try to add a little bit of variation on it with a map that I have to reuse it and create a nicer effect. So I want to add this mask here. I think it's good. And maybe we can try to reduce a bit the contrast of this mask to create a little bit of variation on my shader. Okay, I think it's very good. Maybe 0.4 is a good amount for it, and apply it to my part of my lounge here. We can try to put it on cubic and see what happens in my quick render region to tweaks the UV if I need it. Okay, I think the basic effect is good. I want to reduce the opacity of this mask and reduce a bit the size of this mask too. So go here, tiles V2 by 2, go here and set it up to 0.15, maybe 2, yeah, okay, and see what happens with the newest render region on this area. Okay, I think the value is good, so we can name it, sorry, metal dark C1, and maybe we can try to use this one also with this table. Maybe we can put it on, where is my table? Here. So want to create a variation to it, so metal dark 02. This one I think might be a bit brighter, maybe 7, and apply it on the whole structure of my table, and return with 2 by 2 and see what happens here for quick render test. Yeah, I think it works. It works very well for now. And now it's time to create the material for this lamp and this little bit of decor. So I'm gonna create a new metal. Maybe we can try to use this one because I want a clean metal for this lamp. Metal shine is 02, maybe metal clean. It's a better name for it. Reduce the Fresnel IR to 10. And reduce also my reflection glossiness to 0.7, maybe. I think it's good. I want to add it to this bars. Where is my light? Here. I think we can difference a bit this with a shader, Vray advanced material, lamp top, and we'll do very bright, maybe 95% is good. Activate my specular and reduce it to 0.55. Create a very diffuse specular, maybe it's good. You can see better. Yeah, I think it's interesting. And we can create new shader, Vray bridge, advanced material, make it rubber. Oh, sorry, I have choose the wrong material, so delete it, create a new Vray bridge, advanced material, rubber, diffuse 50%, specular about 75%. Okay, maybe 1.6 is better. 1.8. Now return to 2. Okay, and we'll try to 0.65. The reflection glossiness too heavy. 0.6. Okay, and apply it to my cable here. Now it's time to texture it. And this, for this one I want to create a glass material, so I duplicate this one, glass pot, reduce a bit the brightness of it and also the specularity to 80%, and change a bit my Fresnel IOR to difference it from the previous glass. Okay, maybe we can raise up the brightness a bit now. Okay, it's good. And apply it to this pot. And for this one I want to add my ceramic. Okay. Now it's time to texture the book, but maybe we can add these details later. So I want to see what happened in my render now with a quick. Okay, here we are. Our basic composition is good, but I think it's time to increase the brightness of this kind of wood here and also of the wall, because it's too dark for me. I want to increase the contrast to have a very bright wall in contrast with my chair that is the main actor of this scene. And after doing this I want to increase for the final render the setting of this carpet, because it's too low, by increasing this distribution value for maybe like twice it. And I think the last thing before start post-production is add the texture here and here. And also I think it's good idea to do this part in metal, so I want to delete these parts of this material here, so I have all the lamp metal to contrast with my white walls. So I'm going to go to my walls and increase the shyness of it a bit, and also of this wall wood material too. So I'm going to increase it to a mixed strength of 0.9 to have a bit of variation from the other parts, but not too heavy. So we can see the result of my changes in here. for a quick test. Yeah, I think it's very better now. Okay. Okay, now it's time to add texture from this picture frame here and also for my box here. So I have selected parts here, as you can see. So let's try to add it. First of all, I want to create the material for the frame. So I'll create a new Vray advanced material, name it frame as usual, make it very dark material, activate my specularity, set it up to 1.3 and maybe 0.7 on reflection glossiness and brightness of 70%. Apply it to my okay, now I have some quick tweaks to do. Okay, I have this one, duplicate it, frame 0.1, make it brighter, like 95%, and make it brightness of the specularity like this one. I think it's good. Apply this new material to this selection, select this material, okay, this is the right one, and create a new shader, wave range, it's material, frame, picture, okay, maybe we can try with this one, so drag and drop here in the diffuse, sorry, I have to cut here from the reflection, so right click, copy, paste in the right place and clear this one. Okay, activate my glossiness to 1.4, sorry, apply this to these parts. I think it's good, maybe we can try to see a bit the tree to increase the details in this zone. Okay, I think everything is good for the frame, and maybe this one I want to have a very good reflection glossiness. 95, good, and I think 95, it's better. Okay, now it's time for the books. So I want to create new Vray bridge, advanced material. Right, cover score 01. Put on it the first cover, the diffuse parts, sorry. Okay, duplicate it, cover 02, replace it with the second cover, duplicate it, cover 03, this one is 02, sorry, and then this size here, I have only 2 books, why? Maybe we can fix it later, so delete for now this material, apply this to 1, maybe this one here, and again this one here. Okay, select both this material, and I want to apply to all this cover reflection glossiness 0.9 with a Fresnel IOF of 1.3 and brightness of 80%. Okay, it's good. Now create the last material for this scene. Create, shader, advanced material, name it book inner parts. I have this texture here for the diffuse. Let's bring to simulate the pages on it. So I want to apply simply this kind of material to my book parts here. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Basic material for this scene. I'll set it up, and I think it's time to see the last render. To see what happened in the last render. Okay, I think this render is good. The only thing is now to do is post-produce it to create a more dramatic scene in Photoshop. So to do this, I want to save the last render here, save as JPEG for a quick post-production. Studio image, okay. Go to the proper folder and save it. And open up in Photoshop. Okay, here we are in Photoshop. First of all, I want to create a smart object from this image and apply a camera raw filter on it. Maybe we can try to add a little bit of exposure to see better my chair, and increase the darkness of my shadows to create a more dramatic scene, and also of my blacks here, as you can see. Increase the clarity a bit, and also my vibrance. Okay, I think it's good. Now it's time to add a vignetting effects. Where is it? This one. We can add an effects like maybe like this is good. We can try to use better. Okay, as you can see, with Camera Raw I've created my desired picture in a bit, in a second. As you compare with the render, it is more interesting and contrasted. And after doing this, I want to duplicate this layer, make it editable with rasterized layer, add a little blur on it, blur, Gaussian blur. Maybe we can try with 5 pixel, maybe it's good. Put it on add and make it to 10% to create a little bit of glare effects here and on this area here. I really like these effects. So this is one effect. Now it's time to select with a quick mask this kind of windows here, like this. 1, brushes, not selectors. Take my selection, so I'm gonna press Shift and now left click and reselect this area. Here. Okay, I have both windows selected. Bring up my brush and put it on it. White layer. I just want to take it on for masking, maybe. So create a copy, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and maybe we can try to increase. Maybe we can try to increase the size of this parts a bit to contrast the effects of windows. So increase it a bit. Maybe here works good. Do the same here. Okay, and now add to this layer filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, it's better. Okay, I think it's good. Here, maybe add it to soft light and increase it on screen and maybe 50%. I don't like this effect, so I wanted to delete this. Use this like map. So I want to create a new adjustment layer, brightness, contrast. Maybe we can use exposure. It works well. Select this part, copy this layer and paste, invert the selection, paste, sorry, invert this mask and paste on it my image, edit, paste in place. Okay, there we go. So we have create our basic control for these windows and increase the exposure a bit. And maybe we can try to add an adjustment of this mask with a little bit of blurriness. Okay, too much. Maybe 2 pixels is good. Now use this layer with an effects of outer glow. Of about very strong opacity. A little spreading for this. Make it anti-iris and set the opacity of about 60%. It's very good, and I think it's a good kind of. Can try to see what happens if I set it on different shading mode. I think this overlay is good, and I think it's time to reduce a bit the. Maybe we can increase a bit the exposure. Okay, I think it's good. I think the Vray acting effect is not too much for me, so I want to fix it by creating a new layer here. Fill this one with black. Use my rubber with a big size, like maybe not 10 but 1000, to delete these parts here. Okay, and maybe we can add to it a little bit of blur Okay, it's good. Maybe we can try to put it on 50%, and we can create a mask and delete from these windows to create more nicer effect. Okay, this is our final image. Let's compare with our basic render. So I can create a copy of this one, put it on top, and see the differences between first and after the post-production parts. I think this is very good image, and I hope you enjoy, and stay tuned and follow me on Instagram and here on YouTube. See you at the next video. Bye!